Another one.
It freaks me out that not all companies are using software testing. Says, hello. I need an honest answer if software testing is useless or not. Is it used in all companies? Like, do they hire a person for just only software testing? Where have you been, my friend? So let's put our timer up. And so I'll tell you this: not all companies use software testing, but those companies usually go bye bye pretty quick. And I'll tell you this, right? I've had conversations with what they call startups, right? And I put startups in quotations because put startups in quotations because not all startups are actually startups. Some people they'll go and register an LLC or something like that, and then they're like one or two developers, and they say, "Oh, we're a startup because we created this." And no, you're not really a startup because like just because you like some people call their hobby a startup. Now that's not to say that a hobby cannot turn into a startup, but I think sometimes we call something a startup a little bit prematurely, a little bit prematurely. So I'll tell you a story real quick. When I am when I am looking to get my tech barbarians some experience in whatever like field they're looking to go into, I'll try to reach out to some startups, which it's amazing that there's so many startups, but none of them really want they don't want what they need whatever. Anyways, so like I was saying, I'll try to reach out to them. And one startup said like, "Oh, like we're looking for developers." And I'm like, "Well, have you ever thought about like, do you have any testing in place?" And they're like, no, but we just want to build it and go to market, and then we'll think about testing." I'm like, "Are you?" I'm like, "Are you serious? Do you want your product to fail before it even launches?" But that's the idea and the mindset that a lot of startups have, where it's the idea of I just want to get to market, and you end up having like buggy code, a defective software, like so many things. But the startup that did take my offer, and I was able to plug in one of my tech barbarians in there, like you should because what I'm doing, I'm plugging them in so they can gain experience. And you have a 15-year Q engineer who is mentoring and monitoring the process of testing and stuff like that. Excuse me, teaching them, teaching like the person that I put in place, like the different strategies, different things to do, stuff like that. And the value that they've been able to bring to the startup, which didn't have any like serious testing in place, finding all types of bugs and stuff like that. So I would say any like I wish I could find out more details about the what goes on in the background about the companies that I use, because when you hear about all these data leaks and stuff like that, I always ask like what kind of like protocols and testing measures and security stuff that you had in place. Because for instance, the AT&T outage that happened back in February, right? That was a like I know people were talking about, "Oh my god, it's like it's a cybersecurity attack and stuff like that." It might have just been someone who didn't close a statement with a semicolon or something, right? It could have been a Python script that didn't have a colon at the end, and Python would try to run anyways. So sometimes, like, what kind of like, I wish I could see like what kind of testing protocols do you have in place to make sure that things are working. Like I was talking about the company that we're supporting in Japan, they had asked us like, "Hey, can you give us a copy of all your test cases that you have so we can execute them on our end?" I was like, "Sure." I just went in there and I printed out the test cases that we created. So I like honestly, I don't trust a company that doesn't test their software. I've heard the sentiment of, "We'll test it in prod, major fail, or we'll let the product manager or product owner's test. Nope. Like you need to have like test plans, test cases, automated testing, CI/CD pipeline, and I I wouldn't consider you a quote unquote software company at least if you do not have these things in place. If you need to do a bunch of manual tests, like I mean, I can understand if you have to do some manual tests to get started, right? But you always want to trend on the direction of automation. Like with AI, who could not be doing automation at this point? Because you are going to put yourself in the like you just put yourself in such danger when you don't have like just kiss your company goodbye. That's how I did a video like a few maybe 2 months ago about startups. So software testing is definitely not useless, and companies hire people all the time to just do software testing. They're called, I mean, nowadays they're called software engineers, and they are responsible for end-to-end testing and helping and guiding, like, and help. Like, I believe that as a person in QA with like quality in the mind, you need to guide your software developers, your front developers into having a testing mindset as well, so that you can be successful in so your company and your software can be successful, right? That is the goal at the end of the day. Customers, because customer satisfaction is always the number one goal.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.